Hi all. Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Okay, I do like the Williams sisters, but the dress on the left, I don't like at all. It doesn't give any lift to her breasts, the legs, no. Now the dress on the right, va-va-voom. That, my friends, is how you dress. I'm loving that dress. Gorgeous. Love the color, love the shape, love the style. Love, love, love. All right, we have a lot of stories to cover again today, so let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. All right, this popped up and I just had to throw it in there. This is when Harry said he was going to do everything possible to make the world fair for his children. Now, imagine him thinking that the world is unfair. He who spends his time in a multi-million-dollar mansion with staff, travels by private jet, and has practically unlimited wealth. Think about this. He thinks his children need a more fair start. That's right. Let it sink in. All right, moving on. All right, we're starting off with this article that stated that Harry and Meghan probably thought they were being brought back into the fold when they had their meeting with the Queen, but then they blew it again because they had to open their mouths and talk about, or Harry did, and talk about his meeting with the Queen and stated that, he wanted to make sure the best people were around her. And I think because he did that, once again, he showed that he can't keep his mouth shut. That might be why the Queen decided they can't be on the balcony. So it looks like they had the chance to be on the balcony, and once again they blew it because Harry can't control his mouth. That doesn't surprise me. All right, moving on. All right, this next story came out that Prince Harry's friends, if he even has any left, allegedly think he's secretly spiraling and that Meghan is taking advantage of him. Yeah, I have no problem believing that. They're saying that when Harry first moved, he was at peace and he raved about the fresh start and he had found happiness. But since he started signing these big deals, he's been behaving weirdly, they said, because he's inexperienced in the entertainment industry. So he didn't really know what he was getting himself into, and he's bitten off more than he can chew. And the sources are saying that Meghan pushed Harry to be on camera for their streaming deals, which is something that gives him immense anxiety. Do I have any trouble believing that? Nope. All right, moving on. That leads into this story where supposedly Meghan is making Harry cry. Yeah, she's pushing him to tears is what they're saying. Remember, they're always putting up these photos showing how happy they are and how wonderful their life is. We all know it's different behind closed doors. All right, moving on. Well, now, a body language expert is saying that Harry's recent appearances noted that he's like a fish out of water and he's showing signs of stress, which I completely agree. And that Meghan tries to reassure and boost his confidence. That's what all the touching and stroking and back pats are all about. They're saying in the article that it's pretty clear he's trying to be all things to all people. But you're seeing Harry in different situations since he moved to California, and it's had a significant impact on his emotions, which I completely agree. He also said that compared to William and Kate seem to be more in sync, which I also agree. Anyway, it's been pointed out that there are photos where he looks drawn and stressed, and he just doesn't look like himself. So what can I say? I think he is drawn and stressed. I think things have not gone the way that they were supposed to go or the way Meghan told him that they were going to go. Yeah. All right, moving on. And of course, that goes into this story by Tina Brown, who says in her book about the British royal family that Meghan saw marrying Harry as a way to realize her ambition to become the next Angelina Jolie. I think it was Princess Diana. But in hindsight, it's failed horribly because Harry and Meghan underestimated how hard it was going to be. Yeah, I think we already know that. Now, they're saying she doesn't have a brand or identity of her own, which is absolutely true. She's literally hitched her wagon to Harry, which is why she made a speech at the Invictus Games, which has nothing to do with her. She doesn't have anything. And so she's flailing around. Even her her project with Netflix got cut. So she's been left with absolutely nothing. This story, I believe. All right, this article I literally laughed at. It said 3 hints that Harry and Meghan are going to release photos of their daughter. 1, here comes her first birthday. 2, they're heading back to the UK. And 3, she's about to meet the Queen. Here's my 3 hints why they won't be releasing a photo of Lilibet. Number 1, they're going to hold that photo back for her first birthday because Netflix needs content. Number 2, they're heading back to the UK and they don't want to release any photos ahead of time. They want to try to merch every photo. And 3, she's about to meet the Queen and they want a money shot. They want to make money off of that. Personally, I don't think that's going to happen either. All right, moving on. Okay, this article came out saying that, Meghan thinks she's a first-tier royal and she can't accept reality. And I completely agree with that. Now, Kelly, we all know who that is, made a comment on her podcast and she said, and I'm quoting here, she wants privacy, but she wants to run for president. I want privacy from my children, but she's showing up to the Jubilee with the children who are going to be on camera. And she wants to rub shoulders with the other royals, And even though they've been banned from the balcony, they've made it very well known that they intend to be at that Jubilee, whether they're invited or not. And we all know why that is, because Netflix is demanding it. If they want to save themselves and they want to save their deal, they have no choice but to go back for the Jubilee and try to get pictures of them rubbing with the real Tier 1 royals. This is what this is all about. All right, let's move on. All right, we're going to start talking about William. Now, the Duke of Cambridge went to the United Arab Emirates to deliver condolences on behalf of the Queen and the royal family on the death of their country's ruler. I doubt I'm going to say this right, but Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. So William flew over and he paid his respects and met the Federation's new president and ruler, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Okay, close. It was the first time that William apparently had ever been asked to pass on condolences on behalf of the Queen after the death of a foreign head of state, because that responsibility usually falls to Charles, but Charles is getting ready to go to Canada with Camilla for their tour. Presidents and prime ministers from all around the world are going there. Boris Johnson traveled on Sunday to offer his condolences along with the president of Israel. I mean, just all kinds of, everybody's going. Everybody's going. But I think it's wonderful that this responsibility fell to William. I think he did a fabulous job as usual. Good for him. All right, now the next story involves him as well. Let's move on to Prince William now. And this article basically says he has a backbone of steel, which I guess he would have to have since he's going to be king one day. And demonstrations don't faze him, which I completely agree, especially the way he condoned himself or the way he conducted himself. I completely agree. Several Twitter users said he was built right. He's a force to be reckoned with. And, he's doing great. He's going to be a great king. The enemies don't faze him. He's a man of power with a stiff upper lip and a backbone of steel. And one person actually wrote, he learned well from the Queen. Never ever flinch or give in. Love it. Now, the interesting thing is, this has gone on every year. The booing was not at William. The booing was at the national anthem. We've already covered this. It's got nothing to do with William. People in the choir were warned this could happen. But of course, that didn't stop race-baiting Shola from jumping in. Yes, the doctor stated that William is out of touch with the people. He just doesn't get it. Now, here's the interesting part about this whole thing. Look at her tweet about how it's not Harry and Meghan that should be worried about being booed, right? All she has to talk about is the royal family. What about this? I have blanked out the picture. Nobody needs to see it. But this is a young lady who was murdered, stoned to death. It's all on video, on YouTube. She was being stoned to death. They threw tires on top of her and they lit it on fire. And why did they do that? Because the young lady named Deborah Samuel wrote the message above that you see, that the WhatsApp group was created for assignment, texts, and exams, not religious messages. So her group went nutso and claimed blasphemy. Here's the face of one of the people that was responsible for what happened to her, bragging online about what he did. Where is Dr. Shola outrage? Where is her anger at what happened to this young woman? This is her home country, but now she lives in the UK, so I guess she really just doesn't care what goes on there. Yeah. All right, moving on. All right, next up, I just want to point this out. This GB News is a fake account, and it's spreading fake news. I've already blocked it. I suggest you guys do the same. And as you can see, they're claiming that William was crying over being booed. But if you look below, those were pictures of him crying after he took a picture at the Taj Mahal where his mother had been sitting on the same bench, I might add. Fake news. All right, let's move on to happier things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Queen had the unofficial kickoff of her Platinum Jubilee celebrations. If you're like me and you live in the United States, the only place that you could watch this was on BritBox, which I don't have. I cannot tell you how sad I am that I have to watch little snippets of what happened on YouTube. That's the only way I can see what happened. The Queen looked absolutely fabulous. Look at her. Look at the way she's just beaming. There's Lady Louise in the carriage, in the Duke of Edinburgh's carriage going by, and Helen Mirren, I believe is how you pronounce it, doing a fabulous thing about the Queen. And then Tom Cruise. Who knew? We know who he's backing. He said it was a privilege to be part of the Jubilee, and he said yes instantly when asked because of how much he admires the Queen. Okay, Tom Cruise just went up a bunch in my book. Look how happy she looks. I love it. And finally, somebody pointed out to me that Harry was starting to resemble somebody from history. Anybody want to take a jab? A guess? Yup, I completely agree. Totally. Good catch, by the way. All right, leave those comments because you know I read them. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to make sure that you're notified of future uploads. And if you've already hit the button, double check to make sure you're still subscribed. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter. Don't forget you can follow me on Getter. You can follow me on Rumble. Don't forget you can email me. For those who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.